filming. Oh, you can edit all this out. There's Winnie. Okay.
We're rolling?
We're rolling.
Oh, well,
You
dude.
hit it when you want.
Winnie fell.
It does smell a little bit. You can keep this on the tape. Oh, Winnie. Whew. Winnie's been outside. What do you mean you smell good, Winnie?
Welcome back to my everybody. If you're new here, my name is Anna. I am a 21-year-old living with cerebral palsy, and I upload new videos. Pardon me. Sorry.
Oh, brother.
Sorry, Anna's refrigerator I had to get into. Welcome back to my everybody. Oh my, this is that. Okay. Welcome back to
Why don't we just roll with it? We'll just keep all this in it. It's kind of fun.
Welcome back to my everybody. If you're new here, my name is Anna. I am a 21-year-old living with cerebral palsy, and I upload new videos about my life with cerebral palsy and disability awareness in general. So if you like that, hit the red and hitting the red subscribe button down here completely free, and I would love to have you part of my family. I recently owned it. It's my dad. You might have seen him quite a few times if you've been around here. But I recently heard about how I manage my pain with cerebral palsy, and it really truly made me thinking about how my treatment plan per se, and I say that loosely because it's not really, it's not
Used to be more of a plan.
It's not dictated by doctors, it's more so realizing that the person I want to be is directed by me, per se. So I wanted to talk about how my treatment plan with cerebral palsy has changed over the past 21 minus 5.
16.
15 years. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, Dan, you want to talk about diagnosis Y2A, my elementary school age, and how that to know for someone with cerebral palsy?
Sure, yeah, because Anna was diagnosed when she was probably 2, and you immediately go into mode where you're going to doctors and getting advice on what to do. So a lot of it involved physical therapy and various interventions, some of which were surgeries, some not. But a lot of it, throughout all her childhood, from like 5 to, through her teens, we were listening to the doctor was trying to help us. Tweens, maybe. Was telling us what to do with her. She would see professional physical therapists, occupational therapists, even speech therapists, some at school, some at home. And then over time, we kind of hit the wall with those. Either they, like the speech, I think the speech person at some point said, this is probably as good as it gets for now.
And that was, if I remember correctly, that transition happened about me when I was in 8th grade, and I kind of went to her time therapy once a week at school only to make kind of like an observational thing for high school, and then even that went away.
Yeah, and that went away. So gradually the professional services we stopped doing in some because we could do a lot of the physical therapy once you learn it. You're able to do it at home, and so we just some of it was practicality, some of it was at school. It became a choice between do you want to be pulled out of a certain class to do physical therapy, or do you want to finish the class?
Right.
And so it was one of those. So those choices started to happen in high school, and we at some point began to opt out of those because we felt like she could make progress outside of school and try to do the physical therapy then. So that's when we went into the nagging period, right?
No, that
No?
really happened when we stopped doing therapy in middle school because we didn't have enough hours outside of after school.
Yeah.
You know.
So we then took over and just and we were trying to get Anna, and at that time Anna wasn't as motivated to do stuff on her own because she's 8th grade, 9th grade. She had a lot of other things on her mind, and so we would tend to kind of push her to do things, whether it's wearing a stretcher to stretch her arms or legs, or doing floor stretching, or being in the stander, or whatever it might be. And so it was a bunch of years of that where we're kind of instigating and making her do these things because she had other priorities in her mind. And then at some point, I guess you want to take over, like when did it, like late in high school or out of high school?
Here's the deal. And I think a lot of people can take COVID for a variety of different things.
Thank COVID?
Yeah, but for me that take you to COVID was I literally had nothing else to do. I mean, my school had completely, I was a senior. Mom is tearing the wall.
She's sneaking in.
I literally had who had going completely to virtual learning.
Yeah.
And the word was like
Is this senior year in high school?
Yeah. Was a little bit terrifying to go out in, and to actually meet I would, when I walked in school, it was about a walking in a bed high school.
Mm-hmm.
That was about a walking.
Yeah.
But,
which was good physical therapy.
Yeah.
Just the walking alone was awesome exercise. Like a whole day of it. You came home exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come home and just like collapse in your
Right.
chair, and which was it was a great workout actually.
Yeah.
And in some ways, we didn't need as much physical therapy because you were strengthening yourself, walking at school and all that. But anyway, you go COVID. You're stuck here, right?
Yep.
Talking to me. It's like, do you want to exercise or talk to Dad? Let's see.
But I wanted to realize the benefit of that because I didn't have so much pain. Because I would be working out because that was literally the only opportunity I had. I would literally walk the farmer, more than one time.
Yeah, we walk outside. We walk like 2 miles sometimes. I didn't know you could walk that far.
Right.
Yeah, you're a walker.
Right, and I do my treadmill and
ride your bike and
I began to reap the benefit because Dad in middle school in my 7th, 8th middle school, I would literally go into the nurse's office because I was in so much pain.
Your back
with
and
my
stuff.
hip.
Hips, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Back.
Yeah.
And I come home. I missed half the school day.
Right.
And
then you started. Yeah, you pulled yourself into.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, you started doing these bigger workouts.
Yeah.
And horseback riding, all this stuff, and you suddenly got stronger and stronger,
Right.
and then did you come to some realization at some point that this is kind of good, or?
Well, to ride horses, you literally have to be horned.
Yeah, your core has to be strong enough.
Like,
hold yourself straight and all that.
And I began to be able to do things more independently.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I noticed a difference. And my therapist told me I could do more things, and not having pain has been great. I can sleep better. I can do things more. Like,
You ride your bike
I
better?
don't have to be out for a whole entire day.
Yeah. Yeah, you ride your bike better. Like when you sit on your bike, when she sits on her adaptive trike, it used to be you had to lean way back against the seat because you didn't have the core strength.
Right.
And then that would push your butt off the seat, and I was constantly like pulling you back up like this.
Yeah.
And now she can sit up with her back away from the seats upright while she's pedaling, which is like that's a huge difference from
Yeah.
a year ago,
Yep,
or a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Now I'm riding the horse with the sidewalker walking alongside of me, not touching me. I'm on side.
Let's check your abs. Okay, I'm gonna poke you really hard. Ready?
But
See how hard, steely they
but
are.
yeah, how do I manage pain? I don't have any very rarely now.
Yeah, sometimes you get cramps.
Yep, but
In your
now
inner thighs and
talking
stuff.
about like pain.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and you think your lack of pain in the last whatever year or two is
Yeah.
due to your exercise? Is that what you think
right,
attributed to?
I really so I couldn't tell you why, but like
I can explain it a little bit. I mean, it's because I've had back problems all my life, and I have to exercise to keep back pain away, and it's something that because the muscles, if you have some, a lot of times pain comes from either it could be nerve pain from discs in your back pushing on each other, or it could be soreness because muscles aren't strong enough and they get worn out, and they spasm because muscles spasm when they're overused, and there's risk of injury and stuff in the body. The body has protective measures in it, and it makes a muscle tighten up in order to stop you from moving so you don't hurt something else. So your body has a lot of protective measures, and the stronger you get, the more those muscles are able to hold things in the place they're supposed to be, and it keeps things from being off kilter and pushing on nerves and things like that. So that's why strengthening, especially if you get an injury, sometimes you need to rest for a short period, but then at some point you've got to start exercising, or else the rest isn't going to help, because the muscles are what you really need is to build those muscles back. And I think that's what's happened with you, is you built some core that you never had, and it's been really helpful to the pain,
Yeah. And that's how I manage my pain per se. But if you need tools to manage pain, like actual pain management tools, I recommend the Flyby Hoffman.
Flyby?
Yeah.
Do you want me to get it?
Yeah. Want to. I done a whole video on my product data for the show you.
Oh, did you do a video on this?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did
it's cool.
a video
It's
review.
cool. It's a massage gun. It's sweet. Oh man, that's nice.
Yeah, but like that Flyby, they also have our brand one that I recommend this one. It's another really nice discount on Amazon.
And it charges by USB, right?
Yeah.
Or something, or charging
Right,
cord,
yeah.
or just a charging cord. It's not
Right.
USB, but it's rechargeable, and that's awesome. It's great
Yeah.
for if you get cramps. We are able to stop it with that, which is great, and
Yeah.
it's good for your neck and back and stuff like that.
And then a heating pad, I recommend the Pure Enrichment heating pad with that toilet.
What's the brand?
Pure Enrichment.
Pure Enrichment.
Mhm.
Okay.
More and have a height in the area, and it has an automated cutoff.
So it can
well.
shut off after a certain
Yeah.
amount of time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
So yeah, that's kind of my recommendation on that topic. If you have any more questions, please comment down below.
Hey, one other thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking about kids out there who may be completely different from you. Maybe they're either more mobile or less mobile or whatever. And I know that sometimes you feel like you can't. If maybe you're in a wheelchair, you can't walk, or you don't have use of one arm, or there could be a lot of different scenarios. But really, any kind of exercise you can do. I think the point is if you can. I think you told me earlier that you kind of wish you'd started a little earlier, just taking over for yourself.
Right.
Not that you don't want to listen to doctors and your parents and all that, but sometimes the parents nagging you, maybe you want to say, you know what, I don't want to be nagged anymore. I'm going to do this myself. And you'd be surprised if you kind of get motivated yourself and take over and do whatever exercises you can. If it's one arm or if it's both arms or if it's no legs, it doesn't matter. Just do anything you can do to exercise the things you can move can really have a positive impact on how you feel and potentially on your pain, depending on your situation. So it's good to kind of think about maybe doing some of these things and taking over for yourself at a little earlier age than you normally would, and you might be happy that you did it. So
Yeah.
that's a message, right?
Right.
Okay.
Comment down below any other comment down below your advice to comment and make play holy advice. I do my best to read every comment, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.
Bye. Check those abs. Check those abs.